Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Playoffs Day 4, the extended series. It didn't quite complete at LA Live, but it will complete here at the Galen. Jack, we have just seen Azubu Frost completely respond everything that CLG threw at them. Joining us once again, it is going to be Skara from Team Dignitas, the AP mid. And wow, Skara, what an absolute dominating performance by Azubu Frost.
Absolutely crazy, that game.
Yeah, I mean, we can see it. We've got the stats in front of it there. So Ari versus Orianna, is that the key?
No, that's the thing is, I feel like that matchup is actually fairly, good for Ori. The issue here was that they had, the counter pick potential for a lot of lanes, and they ended up picking themselves into an area where, if pre-6, they fell behind, and Skarner is a champion that can't help till 6, and Maokai is a champion that can. So if Maokai was able to make the plays before 6, before Skarner can get big and help his team, they were going to lose. And they counter-picked each of their lane, or they set themselves for bad lane matchups. They last picked Shen, whereas when we were researching CLG.EU, Shen actually, we've noticed that they don't actually play Shen extremely well, and they're not very consistent with Shen. So we were actually I was very surprised when they picked Shen there, because I was like, I don't know how good they are with Shen. And they picked Shen against Vlad, the lane that Vlad wins without jungle pressure. Skarner can't really out pressure Maokai early. And all Maokai had to do was get 1 kill. So he just went in from 2 different sides of the middle, burned flash the first time, and then got the guaranteed kill the second time. And as soon as that happened, the game snowballed out of control because they just kept trying to recover, and Azubu Frost wouldn't let them recover because they're such an excellent team.
So then, what does CLG do for the next game? Because we've seen 2 really one-sided games. That last one, that was an early snowball, and they kind of picked themselves into trouble. But that first game, that was a really great poke composition. Dignitas has ran some really good poke comps themselves. How do you counter that? Will Azubu Frost let it through? Can they play against Jace? What do you think they're going to do?
I think they're considering the fact that they don't think Wicked can play much outside of Aurelia and Jace. So I think they're definitely go for Aurelia Jace bans again, just to force Wicked on someone that they think he's weak on. Which, to be honest, I feel like that might be accurate.
Okay.
So we might this game see something that Wicked's more comfortable with. I feel like Wicked might look for a Malphite comp this game, because Wicked's been really on the Malphite train for the past couple weeks, especially if Aurelia is banned. And maybe target ban another AP mid Karthus middle, and just look for the identical picks as before, and maybe give them Orianna to try to set back both the AD carry lane and the other lane. Because if only Froggen gets ahead and they're able to control the jungle and the rest of the map, then it's not an issue for them to dominate the game.
So, I mean, they're back on blue side again, too. So that last time, CLG had to ban out Anivia for themselves. Do you think the bans are going to be any different? How important is blue side between these two teams' matchups? With everything's been a target ban. So much has been about the first pick. Are they going to work around that? Is it going to make much of a difference?
I think whichever team is in blue side for this matchup has to ban Anivia. Just because both teams have probably the best Anivias in their respective regions. And it's very telling that CLG.EU was forced to ban Anivia on the purple side. That's how much respect they show Rapid Star. So we're probably going to see another Anivia ban from CLG.EU, but I'm unsure what they'll target ban now. You've seen Maokai and Skarner consistently throughout a lot of CLG.EU games. So I don't know if they'll target ban one of those out, because that's what they play, but they might have to just to get one of them and deny one from the other team.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, we could talk about the bottom lane. Goonwung has been fantastic this tournament. Yellow Pete seems to have struggled in that bottom lane. Of course, obviously, with the Sona comp with the Ezreal, it was obvious they were always going to win that lane, but they absolutely crushed it.
Definitely off the first... Yeah, I don't... that's just a bad lane matchup, in my opinion. I don't think Yellow Pete could have played that much better and outskilled an Ezreal Sona lane. It's up to the Ezreal and Sona lane to win. They have the winning numbers, and it's up to them to play poorly for the Kog'Maw lane to come back, or to even be in the game.
It's really strange, actually. Do you think there's going to be much contention around the Maokai pick? Because even in the previous set between Moscow 5, those Maokais getting ahead early have really swept a lot of these games over. Snoopy's so good at Maokai, and if they want to go with another quick kind of double AP push comp, you'd think they'd want to control that. But as you said, they're out of bans in a lot of ways, because they're going to have to ban Anivia since they're blue side. They want to ban Aurelia and Jace because they got to keep those away from Wicked. So would you expect maybe a first pick Maokai from CLG, or is that way too dangerous?
No, they'll definitely go for early pick Maokai's because that's what they build most of their strategy and their team comps around. He's a very versatile jungler. He can do a lot of things. I actually maybe might look for a Vlad ban here if I'm CLG.EU. I don't think Wicked has much left in his arsenal that can deal with Vlad. He's left with like maybe Jax. If Jason and Aurelia both get banned, Malphite or Shen against Vlad isn't a really good matchup. So they might actually look to just ban out Vlad and force him to pick something where Wicked can, again, counterpick correctly.
Well, I mean, the problem is that they've been banning Jax because that is one of Shy's major champions. So would they try and take that away from him? I mean,
there's no way Wicked plays Jax.
I've never seen it.
Do you know?
Yeah, no. I don't think he's played much Jax, but I guess if you have to, I don't know. His Jax is definitely scarier than his Vlad, but leaving the Vlad up means like Wicked has a very limited champion pool. I think he's one of the players with one of the tops of the very limited champion pool, not like a player like Macnoon. Macnoon has like, he can play like every champion top lane. So like when you play against CLG.EU, you know, like most of their roster has like very comfortable picks they pick all the time. Like scouting CLG.EU is very, very easy. It's just outplaying them that's the hard thing. That's what Azubu Frost has been able to bring to the table. Like they mechanically they are as talented or more talented than CLG.EU. So all they have to do is be able to control the ban pick phase well, and they're already set to win this game.
So how do you deal with it? You've just been crushed so heavily. Probably the biggest win in the tournament, I would say, for Azubu Frost. You know, absolutely destroyed the opposition, even more so than Moscow 5 and Taipei Assassins. In the previous game, how do you reset your mind? You know, do you just say we were outpicked, or just just get on with it?
You just have to forget about it. Like, especially CLG.EU, I know they're a very tight-knit group. They're a strong enough team to be able to get over losses. Like, that's what makes them good. They can overcome losses and learn from them. So if any team was able to pull back a game 3 after a devastating loss like that, I would give my odds to CLG.EU. However, I still think it's Azubu Frost series to lose.
Wow, there's his pick right there. So you think Azubu Frost is the favorite coming into the last game here? Just off the end of that last game?
Yes, absolutely.
So Taipei Assassins, who do you think they would favor right now after seeing these two games? They obviously, I believe they've played Azubu Frost a few times, but they've played CLG a hell of a lot. So surely that's their favorite partner. Oh, I don't know how the scrims have gone, of course.
CLG.EU tells me they've actually gone about 50-50 against TPA. So I actually don't know if they want CLG.EU, because 50-50 is not like good odds. Like they may actually look to play against Azubu Frost because Azubu Frost hasn't seen much of them, but they've seen a lot of Azubu Frost throughout the weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot up for stakes as well. 150,000 already in the bank. They're going to be happy with that one. 250,000 for the loser for second place. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go into the picks and bans. Thank you very much, Skara, for joining us once again. Let us get those bans on the screen right now, and we will see which way exactly they will go. Immediately we can see the Jackson Blitzcrank ban going in there, but the Ari ban coming out from CLG.EU. Aurelia, Jason, and Nivea banned out by Azubu Frost. How are they going to pick? Wow, that does surprise me. First pick, Ezreal.
It's not an early pick Maokai. It's not an early pick Orianna. They're letting the option come back through, and they'd actually go with, would they go with Karthus over Orianna, even though it's been so dominating thus far? Really, even though Scar said the Ari ban wasn't about that, CLG has a different motto for that. They thought the Ari was really impactful to that game.
I expect
even
Maokai
drawing a
here.
ban.
Oh, of course, Skarner.
And a Skarner.
He prefers it. Cloud Templar prefers Skarner. He said he wanted to show the world it.
Here it is.
Chance. Here is your chance. Oh, change it to Zyra possibly. That could be a support Zyra, of course. It's something that Mad Life has certainly played before.
Right now, so much is up in the air here. I don't see why they would first pick a Zyra unless they have strong counter picks lined up for the mid lane, because Karthus and Orianna are both extremely important. There's such control picks in a lot of these ways, and if they actually go in with this, that's just leaving it open. There's the support Zyra, so now CLG gets their choice between Orianna, Morgana, and Karthus for the mid lane, and they don't even need to pick it here because Azubu Frost has made it very clear that they're not going for Maokai, and they don't care about the mid. What kind of message does that send to CLG.EU, and how are they going to respond?
Well, of course, we've seen Lux being played by Azubu Frost. It could be an AP Zyra. I mean, we've seen Lux in both positions. Could they go for Zyra in both positions, and maybe just leaving it out there to CLG and say, you don't know where we're playing this.
And now we see CLG getting that Maokai. They're very good at Maokai.
That's what they wanted.
But in the game 5 against Azubu Frost for OGN, They did have Maokai, and they fell behind early. That Morgana pick worked out very well. They
Poke.
could not deal with those Dark Bindings. They had the poke, but it's poke without Jace, so I don't know if they'd have the disengage. Crescendo, amazing for disengage in a poke comp. But on top of Skarner, Skarner ends poke comps. He goes in and picks a guy, and he just creates a fight off of the end.
Have they got something else up
Anything
their
Azubu,
sleeves
they
other
must.
than Jace in that top lane? Some poke. And how are they going to react to it with Draven? Honestly, the picks and bans could be wild here. If they're not going to go with Jace, they're not going to go with Aurelia, what are they leaving open? Is it going to be a Malphite, just a hard engage with that Crescendo, with the ulti from Morgana, flash ulti in there, Crescendo across to keep them all packed up? Is this something different we're seeing from CLG.EU again on the blue side?
I think it could just be more of the same. The Malphite is what we predicted. That's what Skara did. We see the Vlad. What has Wicked played really this tournament? He's played Aurelia, he's played Jace, and he's played Malphite. Malphite's available. He can work against Vladimir in the lane. Unless he has something else perfectly practiced, that's what I see him going for here, because it's all about CLG's comfort zone. They did practice the Morgana, they practiced a lot of Jace, but Wicked, his champion roster is somewhat limited, and that's what Azubu Frost has been attacking with 2 bans for him. They're baiting him into a Malphite. They want to do that. They have a lot of caster damage already coming out. It's going to be a dangerous pick to do Malphite, but I don't know if Wicked has a choice. If he pulls out Riven, that's something he used to play a lot of. Thinking back, the last time I saw him in Riven was Kings of Europe even.
He's had a Rengar
and he
as
played
well,
fairly
of
well.
course.
Rengar isn't even available in this tournament, though, and that
Not
could
Rengar,
be-
sorry, Renekton.
Oh, Renekton. He did play Renekton in this
Yes.
tournament,
But
but a Riven could actually work out fairly well. That's a strong lane up against Vladimir.
And Maokai, obviously, course, still left open because Skarner was taken. They were like, we no need to take it now. We know Skarner's going to be the jungler. They've left it open. So the final pick for Azubu Frost here coming in. A Riven versus Vlad. Definitely something we'll talk about in a moment. Let's just see what the final pick is for Azubu Frost here. I mean, what would you go with? Is it going to be the AP? Is it going to be the Zyra AP?
I don't know, actually. This is I'm stumped. Is the Zyra in AP? Is the Vladimir mid?
Vlad
Who's
mid.
top?
Shy on
Shy
Singed.
Singed was devastating in the group stage. There is so much deception coming down from Azubu Frost here. You don't know where Zyra is going to go. You don't know where Vladimir is going to go. It's making counterpicking for CLG really hard. It looks like he picked that Riven thinking he was going up against Vladimir, because that's what happened last game. How versatile is Azubu Frost if they switch Vlad between players in between games and then do the Singe? They've done it. They're in with that. This is going to be about the split push. It's almost like the last game where we had Macnoon split pushing with Italy. Expect Shy to try hard on split pushing CLG.EU.
How will they handle this one? So, CLG.EU, they've got their Morgana, they've got their comp. Is it the comp they wanted, or were they trying to counter Azubu Frost? And has Azubu Frost countered it so heavily that maybe they're not going to feel comfortable in that lineup? Or are they just so versatile that they can play what they need?
And here's the thing. Cloud Templar is going to try to start fights on the situations with the Skarner pulls. It's whether Froggen can really twitch Black Shield and get the right targets to stop the Impales is going to be the decider in these back-and-forth team fights. The support Zyra has been really good for them in the past. They were the first ones to start playing it months ago, so Mad Life has a lot of practice on that. And I mean, this Game 3, one game to decide who goes up against TPA in the finals. These semifinals overall now stretching the full amount of games. Can't wait to get into this game.
Minimum of $100,000 to the winner of this game.
And the chance at $1 million.
That's
unreal.
And a chance at 1 million. That is a pressure matchup, ladies and gentlemen. I would not want to be in the situation of these players. And I don't think you would either. Well, I mean, honestly, obviously for the chance for winning $1 million, yes.
The
But
stress,
the pressure,
though? I don't know.
not so much. Yeah, so we saw Shy with Singed against SK. They tried to double gank him. Just did not work. He was so strong. Do you think Wicked, a very, very confident top laner, can deal with him now that he's on Riven, a champion that he's not played all tournament?
And so much of it's going to be about Snoopy's ability to support him in that lane. One thing that does slow down Singed is chain slows, and Maokai can put out a lot of that, so he might be in a bit more danger this time on Singed than he was the last time. But now that we're right into the game, these teams just running out, will we see any crazy level ones? Because who would think in this game an early level one could very well decide at any small mistake. As we've seen, both teams so good at just snowballing their advantages. CLG off the back. What happened that last game? They gave up 13 kills to 0. They got absolutely destroyed both these teams have proven that they can bounce back. Everything's on the line right now.
Everything is on the line, and if you've just joined us, CLG.EU are on the blue side, Azubu Frost on the red. It is 1-1, all square, last game of the night. Who will join Taipei Assassins in the finals on October 13th, this Saturday, here at the Galen Center in Los Angeles? That will be at 5 p.m. The question is, who will get there? Azubu Frost just put up an absolutely dominant performance, and both teams are on the invade.
And they really went exactly mirror of each other at the start, going into the same triangle brush, but now CLG.EU working around, they put a ward onto Azubu Frost's red buff, and here Azubu Frost is actually just staying around their blue. This is the exact mirror early of what happened to them that put Snoopy behind on Skarner. They gave up the red while taking their own blue, and they could not counter back, but now they're actually roaming around a bit more. Shy taking a very dangerous route through his own jungle, face checking. That could have been death. 2 wards in the jungle there. Azubu Frost with the invade and now backing out, and they're not actually taking an early red. And this might be the most standard start we've seen yet.
We are seeing Shy get spotted by that ward, and he's going to start off at the race, which as you can see, Froggen immediately going back there.
He was going to try to steal the big blue one.
He does manage to land it on Shy instead, which means he will not get to steal it. Does a bit of damage to Shy though, causes him to have to use a health pot already. Azubu Frost going to pick up their own blue here. You can see the blue buff also being picked up by CLG. Wicked slowly but surely stepping through into those bushes.
And actually we see CLG.EU with 2 members in the top lane. Shy going to have to deal with the 1v2. And the big thing about this is they have 2 invaded wards in the jungle, and they're going to go for an invade on the red buff here because they completely outman them, and they can't fight up against this. He saved his smite, so he has the potential for a steal, but they'll have no vision. CLG's going to pull this around, and Cloud Templar is either going to get himself killed trying here, or he's going to have to back away. This is a great aggressive play by CLG.EU.
Yeah, they're baiting it out. Now they're going to go in, twisted advance on towards Cloud Templar. They're going to try and finish off first. Blood surely coming in. Cloud Templar, no, he's just getting away. They waited for Yellow Pete to pick up the kill. And now they're going to try and take away that red buff. Of course, Smite is still there. There's Snoopy, uses it up. They could go to Shy here. Shy on that top lane. He's already realized that he's backing straight away and desperately going to run off. And he will back away from that danger.
That early start, so clutch. The 2 wards, the super delayed invade. And that could have been recognized by Azubu Frost when they realized Wicked was bottom and that the AD carrying support hadn't showed yet. Maybe just a slight slip up. So much pressure on these guys right now. You can hardly blame him, but losing the blue buff and giving it to Ezreal early could be devastating. Now,
this is clever.
Trying to invade Snoopy. Behind him, Cloud Templar has not been spotted yet, but this could get turned around and be disastrous.
Snoopy already picked up the race of Cloud Templar. Now Cloud Templar's out of position. He's just going to try and bully his way out of it. He could just twist to advance straight across to Cloud Templar. Cloud Templar instead forces the flash from Snoopy. Clever, good play there. Madlife could come up. You can see the 2 AD in support had headed north. They're going to turn reverse around and steal the red buff away.
And this is clever because they just took the same man advantage. The only disadvantage here is that they will not get the kill onto Snoopy. So the jungle advantage isn't quite there. How Shy going to end up dealing with this top lane though? He had the 1v1. You need to get ahead on Singed in order to do things in the top lane. And if we go up there, you can see he's getting poked down rather heavily. He got that early cloth armor, but it doesn't seem to be enough. The poke from that Ezreal Sona lane, the lane that destroyed CLG in the previous game, is now in the hands of Yellow Pete and Crepo. Was that the difference? Can they turn it around? It's going to be very important, that top lane for Shy.
Snoopy going into that top lane, Shy very low. And it is incredibly hard in the early levels, of course, for Singed. Could they just try and drive home the advantage and take this turret? They've got a wave coming in. They're going to have another wave backing up in a moment. They're going to try and fend this one off. Shy has had to back completely away. He's going to take the golems, which in turn is going to cause problems for Cloud Templar.
But with that, if CLG just decides to take this turret, they could get it because he's taken his health low on this, and Snoopy would be able to dive in on him. They have Skarner coming up to potentially defend, but low mana, level 3 Skarner's not going to be able to hold this turret. We could very well see a 5-minute tower by CLG, but they are able to repel them, and they're actually ghosting in.
They were trying
Not sure why I used that one.
Desperately trying to force away from that turret, but eating a lot of damage. Of course, those saplings going in, the poke from Crepo. Yellow Pete putting a couple of mystic shots across. We are seeing the raids taken away in that mid lane, but don't worry, we want to stick to this action because CLG still 3-man stacking in that top lane. Froggen's just desperately defending. He's going to clear out that problem. No worries at all. And Snoopy's staying here. Crepo's just covering off, managed to keep away in that distance, but that turret is slowly but surely going down. The poke again on Cloud Templar. He's going to back away. While this is all happening, neither jungler is gaining anything.
They're just leeching in the lanes, and that's actually good for Cloud Templar because he was behind, but he's actually pulled ahead of Snoopy in experience. The problem here is with them sticking around every time they get to the tower, the turret gets lower, their health gets lower, and their mana gets lower, and CLG.EU is not really expunging much to get there. They're going to try to just get this turret fast at 6 minutes. The counter push on the bottom lane is not getting this close.
Oh my
Rapid
word.
Star just at an inch of health. The solo almost coming out from Froggen, and this is pressure being applied right back at Azubu Frost, and they have to concede this top turret.
They've conceded the top turret. Shoy has backed away. Here comes Snoopy on towards that top, and that is Cloud Templar already gone away, and they will take the turret. Meanwhile, that bottom lane is being pressured, but here we go. Should be first turret of the game. 6 minutes gone into this game, very early. I'm amazed how low that mid lane was taken. It wouldn't have been a kill for anyone, of course. It would have just been a funny death. But again, look at this. Yellow Pete immediately recognized the situation, says, we know we're going to take the turret. The minions are going to take it. We'll just carry on farming.
Perfect timing on that turret, actually making sure as many minions were denied as possible. They got the cannon dead there. In the bottom lane, though, it's Zyra and Wound trying to get as much pressure on this turret as they can. Wicked just hit 6. He's going to try to clear the tower. But they're going to get this turret shortly as well.
Yeah, they will do a return just as well. Good one will take the bottom turret. There you go. You can see the last hit coming in. Very fast pressure. Oh, Wicked flashing away there.
And healing. He actually burned both of those summoner spells. That could have been a bit of a panic.
That was a misclick, surely, to hit both.
It had to be. The keys are right next to each other. It's a very rare mistake we see from Wicked. There's no way he meant to hit both. That makes him vulnerable in that lane.
And that is the pressure we talked about. I mean, he's going to back away. He's going to go to top lane now. Immediately we're seeing the switch out, so maybe... In fact, no, I mean, the fact that he was backing away had no reason to use the heal. So definitely a misclick. Absolutely sure of that one. So now we're seeing Shy. We do not want to leave Shy left alone because Singed can farm like crazy. Oh, we're seeing Morgana there using the ultimate. Rapid Star forced to back away from Froggen. Black Shield on there. So how is... we've not really managed to catch a chance of this one. We saw Rapid Star was incredibly low, but this one is still seeming pretty even.
And he's been farming out pretty well considering Morgana. Actually, Vladimir should have a favorable matchup against Morgana. He should have been able to bully up early. That's actually props to Froggen for keeping even in the minion score right there. Snoopy level 4 trying to just go around because Shy went between the turrets, and they're going to try to run him down. They have potentially 3 men coming to gank here. He's got ult and Ghost to try to get away from this one.
There's the twisted advance and the knockup. They're going to get the damage. Froggen's just waiting in the wings. He's going to realize that Dark Binding comes if he goes that way. Snoopy taken down very low. He's got to back off there. Snoopy goes down to the Ignite and the poison from Shy there. Now Wicked is in trouble. Shy 2v1 in CLG.EU.
That's just, they thought you could keep him down by putting 2 members up against him. Nothing but Ninja Tabby. He pops the ult, and Snoopy's got to think twice before he goes for another one. Rapid Star mid.
In mid, and he's going to get ignited. That will drop him. The pull will not save him from that ignite, and Froggen will pick up the kill. And now they're going to try and turn that pressure in the mid. Prepper there at the moment. Meanwhile, down that bottom, the Yellow Pete just quite happily farming off on his own. Wicked having to force Cloud Templar away from this turret. So it started off as a really great advantage for CLG.EU. Azubu Frost do not rule them out yet.
I'm not sure what happened with Rapid Star there. He really just got caught in a Dark Binding and spiked down. Back and forth, this gold is very close between them. They split the towers. Shy's looking very strong and formidable. It's a matter of how much pressure is he going to apply in that top lane, because it's already evident that they need to send 3 members to go for him. Froggen, though, being an assassin with those Dark Bindings, Wound taken to half health right away. He's only got that blaster one. He's going to rush an Abyssal Scepter once again. That's going to make their team fight extremely strong. Rapid Star struggling in this lane against Froggen.
Absolutely. Down the bottom, Yellow Pete keeping the farm, this time up with Wound, which is definitely something he's not been able to do, but that bully top and lane, I'm not too sure how that's going to work out. Shy on Singed seems a dangerous thing. We're going to get a double Wota coming out here for Azubu Frost, though.
Hextech Revolver just going to keep the sustain. Wicked can't out-harass him. You can see him already having to just concede off that turret. Shy in between them. It looks like they're just going to accept their fate and let Shy farm. That's been dangerous in the past. Maybe they'll try to poke around bottom near the Dragon, but it's very difficult and dangerous to try to Dragon against that Zyra ultimate. They're trying to poke onto it now, but they have vision of it. Shy coming down as well. They're going to try to rush it down, but this is a really risky, aggressive play by CLG.EU.
CLG.EU with a 5-man on the Dragon. Can they manage to catch it? Oh, good one, nearly getting caught out by Darbani. There's the Dragon.
They're going to go for a fight here.
They're going to dive into it. There's going to see Frog, and actually they've split off there. Goonwon getting away from it. The damage going down. Snoopy's going to get dropped. That's going to be Zyra going down, but honestly, a jungler, I'd take that. Wicked going down as well. Azubu Frost coming out with a 2-for-1 exchange. Really nice exchange for them. And you can see Crepo desperately trying to run away from Shy there. Getting the proc from the phase though.
Taking the Dragon is actually gold-wise worth about 2 kills, and they traded 1 kill back, so that did favor CLG.EU, but the problem with that is they've lost the map control, and can Azubu take anything with that advantage? They know the red buff is up. Rapid Star might try to steal this as well. Shy continue to free farm, and they're pushing down on the mid. Even half that turret is a lot of pressure. The mid lane is getting pressured. Man, this game is back and forth. 3 kills to 3, only 11 minutes in. And I really just have to keep my eye on Shy because 2-0 with that revolver. CLG doesn't seem to have something that can take him down. It's going to be about him split pushing this whole game. Will he be able to suck this pressure from CLG? Will he be able to distract them enough? Because right now he looks unstoppable.
Azubu Frost farming out any advantage they could there. Took away the golems, took away the red buff, took away, I believe, the wraiths as well. And put pressure on towards that turret. Took mid half health off. However, Wicked is farming in that top lane, but he's a long way behind, like you mentioned. Willie the Ancient's almost completed that. It's just, look at that, the difference in gold. It's around about 800 gold for Singed. Big advantage there. Very much even between junglers. Massive advantage for Froggen though. 1,000 difference already. And a big difference, importantly, Yellow Pete ahead of Goonwon. This is probably the first time.
That is a good lane for them. It's just the swapping. We saw the Sona Ezreal lane has proven to be pretty much the best, and that's what's granted them something here. Wicked trying to ult in mid lane, trying to get on a Rapid Star, but they disengage. Nice route by Madlife.
Just roots him up and pulls away. That's the danger though. Bottom lane, Woong's got to be careful. There's Yellow Pete and Crepo trying to push the advantage here. They've got Snoopy creeping around in towards that tri-bush. Although he's going to walk straight in towards Rapid Star. Rapid Star's going to go in towards that tri-bush. And immediately you can see that Snoopy's been very cautious about that. You can't see it, it's just above the screen. And it is just poking around there. There is Rapid Star, spotted the sapling. And Snoopy does back away. Shy, he's going to come around the backside of Wicked. Wicked's got to be careful here.
Wicked has no control over this lane. This is what we've seen Shy do to Kevin in the previous game. He's just sitting in the tower, daring CLG.EU to come, but they're actually just leaving Wicked up there. They're pinging down onto their blue. They think Shy could go there. He very well could. Wicked trying to push through and get minions for himself. They need to figure out a better solution to Shy here because this free farm is going to end badly.
Yeah, they do not want to get close. He's going to get the flip on Snoopy. Look at that instant burst damage there. Snoopy going down to half health straight away. Good lord, is he going to go back in again? That flip would be back available shortly. The cooldown on. And now you can see Zyra and Vladimir coming across. Rapid Star really wants to get that blue buff, steal it away. Cloud Templar in there as well.
But over in the bottom lane, they do have a 2v1. Woong actually doing a fantastic job clearing the wave, so they're not able to get quite onto that yet. The blue buff, all of this is coming on the back of Shy. He is carrying their team through right here. The blue buff's there.
They're going to dive Wicked. There's nothing you can do. That tower absolutely dead. They could just walk straight through it and do the damage on the turret. The turret almost gone. You can see they're going to close around it. Shy can tank this one up all day. Cloud Templar's going to come around. You can see Wicked dives up towards Madlife. Can he take anything from this one? He's trying. No! He flashed out of the damage. Beautiful play there, and Shy manages to pick up the kill. They're going to get the turret on the back of that and just absolutely destroying CLG in that top lane. Very well played. Shy is unstoppable right now, 3-0.
And look at how they're holding the other lanes. Rapid Star is holding off mid, and Goonwon is just soloing Yellow Pete and Crepo, who I thought would be able to take down that wave, but they can't get the creeps to stay in the turret, blowing them all away. So much attention is being devoted to Shy, and Azubu Frost is actually supporting him very well. Dominating that lane, dominating the game, and this game is close in gold, but from a pressure and control perspective, it's all Shy.
We talked about the dominance that Stanley put down, and Shy proving it once again with Singed. He did the exact same thing against SK. Kevin has nightmares about that lane. He insisted it was all about that one kill early on, but honestly, he's proven it right here against Wicked. He is a absolute fantastic Singed. He was kept in a 2v1 lane, and he still managed to hang on in there.
He kept his gold up. He did the jungle. They turtled the tower for quite a while, and as soon as he saw that window, he's 3 levels ahead of Wicked right now. He is destroying, and look at the actual wards coming out by everyone on Azubu Frost. They got 6 across the team, 5 different members. They're going to be warding up everything. This tells me that they're looking for early control again. Could we see another early Baron? Could we see another early Dragon? At the very least, it's just to help with the control. Froggen trying to stop that mid lane pressure, but it's all about Shy.
It is all about Shy, but the saving grace for CLG.EU on the back is straight away the fact that Goonwung's been out-farmed, so there is going to be damage on Yellow Pete this time around. Where is Shy going? I'm keeping my eye on him in that Wolves. He's going to come round towards the middle. I'm not too sure. He's just sticking off to the side there. They spot him. In the mid lane, you can see very close between the two, but a 2-0 has given the big gold advantage, I believe, to Froggen. I think it's around 1,000 gold difference. Krepo going to walk in and immediately puts that little poke on Shy and says, no, I'm not going to let you back quite so easily. Quick power chord and pokes him. Bot lane, though, is still continuing to get forced.
And here's one of the big things. It's only a 1,000 gold advantage, but Snoopy just hit level 7. Cloud Templar has been sitting on level 9. He's almost 10. There's a 2-level advantage for Shy over Wicked as well. They just have more experience across the board. This Dragon's coming up in 1 second. You see the ping going down onto it. CLG.EU can't contest this. Wicked's trying to catch up by farming the top lane. He's trying to get strong enough to hold off Shy. They're going to pick up this Dragon uncontested. And off of this, they might just try to push mid or really go wherever they want, because where Shy goes, they're seemingly untouchable.
And of course, picking up that Dragon will give them yet more experience. And there's experience spread across the team. And yes, you can see that mid wave has been stacked up. As it is, they're pinging across. Ezreal just used True Shot Barrage, so Yellow Pete can't get in that one. Madlife using those plants to keep them at bay. And that is going to be a very clean Dragon pickup. So, gold. Nearly 2,000 difference now for Azubu Frost.
And all of that 2,000 is actually in Shy. If you just compare Wicked to Shy, 6,100 to 4,100, that pretty much explains it. There's a few back and forth between the other ones. Yellow Pete has more than Wound, and Cloud Templar has more than Snoopy, but really, it's Shy. It really is. I can't harp on it enough. His Singe is unstoppable right now, and they need to mob him. They need to maybe get some kind of teamfight phase, but right now, Yellow Pete's not strong enough. You need to kill Singe with a very strong AD carry presence, and they just don't have it yet. It's all on Azubu Frost pressure right now. They've taken the Dragon. They have the experience. They're going to try to go down mid here. That tower's at half. How can CLG hold this off?
The question is, can they control him when they get to the fights? We're at the closing in on the 20-minute mark. The mid-fight, they do, of course, have the Dark Binding. They have the Crescendo. They have Wicked Stun as well. Have they got enough to control Shy? Or is he just going to pop that ulti, sprint through the team, flip someone in there? Are they trying to bait something here? It looked like Froggen was trying to bait something in. Now Templar, of course, could just impale straight onto his Yellow Pete, drag him in. He will Arcane Shift away, but honestly, he could get controlled as well.
Shy actually popped his ultimate accidentally there. They thought they had the root down onto Froggen, but he black shielded it at the last second, and that baited him to go in because Shy was going to try to flip Froggen right after that. It just didn't happen, so now he ended up using his ultimate to run top lane. Luckily for him, it's on a pretty short cooldown, 68 seconds. With all that, though, they see a 5-man advantage. CLG.EU should be able to take this blue pretty safely. No Shy, that's no pressure for Azubu. They're going to have to give this up.
Well, Cloud Templar wants to try and get and snipe this one. They're both trying to smite it away. You can see Snoopy wants to smite it as well. He comes in, they tried to catch up towards Cloud Templar. Woong just off the side there, but Twisted Advance already used up on Cloud Templar. Snoopy out smiting him this time around, but Shy again off on the side, free farming.
And the blue buff is up. He could even take this by himself. He does enough damage. The Rod of Ages and the Hextech Revolver. He's actually doing a lot of damage. 140 AP onto Shy, as well as being unkillable. Even with the blue buff, he's going to be able to have shorter cooldowns on that fling, which are actually doing 440 damage. And there's a duel in the bottom lane. Woong might fall.
Woong might fall here. Yellow Pete tries to pull him into the bush, but it is going to be Yellow Pete that picks up the kill. We didn't quite catch the start of that fight. It looked like True Shot Barrage managed to hit early on.
That's exactly what happened, and that's the mid-game power spike you get when you go Trinity Force on Ezreal. He got the slow with the Phage proc on that, and that was just Woong getting caught by surprise. They were lulled into just watching Shy go around the map, and he got caught free farming. He'd been safe in that lane for so long, and that was on Yellow Pete. Great job soloing Woong and maybe trying to take their team back into the game pressure-wise.
And they might take the mid turret as well. This could be 2 turrets for CLG straight away. Quick response. 3-level difference, by the way, between Wicked and Woong and Shy at the moment, and they immediately look at that. Whole team had to react. They could not handle Shy coming around the back of them. And that bottom lane turret will go down. So that is going to be the second turret for CLG.EU. Even in the turrets, still 1k difference. Advantage Azubu Frost.
Still a very good play there by Yellow Pete, and we saw the fear there by Shy. He has 2 level advantage on every member of CLG.EU, and the experience is actually starting to look really bad for them. Mad Life, level 10, Crepo's level 9. Cloud Templar has 2 levels on Snoopé. Shy out-levels all of them. If they can force a fight right now, they're actually going to have a very, very good chance of getting these things. More dragons, more fights, maybe even if they started baiting Baron, because all they need to do is find a spot for Shy to be unleashed on the backline, and CLG will have to fall away. They have total control here. It's just a matter of getting the mid turret down so they can roam the map more freely. Right now, CLG is actually doing a pretty good job of trying to get through Shy's strong phase so that Yellow Pete gets strong enough to kite him and potentially kill him.
So as it stands, 100. Well, very even in the mid lane now, actually. 2-0 to 1-0-1-2. Willie the Ancients has been stacked out by Rapid Start. Expect to see it completed at some point by Shy. As it stands, it looks like he may well go for... Could be a Badger's Veil on there, or which way will he go? There's Powerbind is landing. Azubu Frost going to pick up his mid lane turret. That is pulling the advantage back to Azubu Frost. See True Shot Barrage flashing across, but CLG pretty much helpless to stop that one.
They're trying to keep back at them, but Shy's just going to go right back to that lane, continue the pressure. Yellow Pete's going over to farm his lane as well, and they actually don't have anyone on their team that can solo Yellow Pete right now, so they're going to send Woong to defend, but he's got to be very careful not to get caught out of position. The Aegis of the Legion just getting completed onto Snoopy. That's going to be big for team fights, and a bunch of members of Azubu Frost are coming here for Yellow Pete. He's going to have to pull some tricky moves to get out of this one.
Ward. He's on a Tribush Ward. They're just going to wait this one out until that looks like he's about to go back. Maybe he's even looking at the shop now. There's the bookshot comes across. He realizes, and you can see the damage straight into Woong there, but Rapid Star's going to come around, and immediately the Yellow Pete Arcade shifts into it. He is going to go down. Woong is going to get away from that one. He has nothing to respond, and really that's the team not communicating quick enough, saying they are all coming.
He just remembered the kill he got on Woong and thought he could do it again. And that was Azubu Frost with a better memory and a better response. They sent 3 members there, and he almost turned it around right onto Woong again, but now he did get the Infinity Edge, so that duel is no longer going to be in huge favor of Yellow Pete. Still stronger, though, so that's going to be a play for them. 30 seconds on this Dragon. They're sending Shy out the top lane. He's going to need a while to push that before they can draw CLG members. CLG might be able to get this Dragon if they decide to go for it right away. Azubu slow playing this a little bit, relying on the split push. Might be a little unwise in the long run.
Yeah, Wicked desperately trying to gain those levels, you can see, but Shy, as soon as he appears, he backs off, in which case it looks like he's going to head towards that Dragon. It is up in 6 seconds, as you can see on your top corner of your screen.
Shy's not far behind him, though. He's chasing down. If anything, Wicked's going to be there 5 seconds earlier, and they're not going to be able to create this. If Shy can somehow flank around behind, we've seen Moscow 5, they're one of the best flanking teams. Really, that's where Shy needs to be. They need to force CLG and stop them from being able to run away. They need to somehow prevent the disengage, because they really, all they have is Skarner pull and some Zyra CC. It's all about the extended, long team fights, and that's not usually what happens. Will they catch out Wicked? Here's the Skarner roll!
They do, they impale on towards Wicked, they pull him back, the crescendo goes across. Is it enough? Wicked managing to hop, skip, and a jump, but he's exhausted. He's going to go down. It is Shy that picks up the kill. The Dragon's still yet to be taken out, but honestly, now that Azubu Frost have managed to impale on Wicked, they're going to get it for free, and there's nothing at all CLG.EU can do about it. That is going to be Azubu Frost in control yet again.
Azubu Frost doesn't want to get poked at. Skarner roll. Create the fight, kill Wicked, get the Dragon. 4 kills on Shy. He's looking to go for that Abyssal Scepter. Really becoming unstoppable. This is a big advantage brewing for Azubu Frost. You don't see it in the gold, but the experience is massive. Shy level 16. Froggen and Yellow Pete just hit 14. Living in that top lane. The bans to take out Wicked's Jace and Aurelia look to really be paying off, because even though they shut down Shy early with that 2v1 lane, ever since it's been Riven on Singed, he's been completely dominating. And also in the jungle, 3-level advantage for Cloud Templar. They mirrored that matchup in the last game, and it's really just Azubu Frost and their coordination helping out the jungler more, and maybe Cloud Templar just finding ways to get experience better than Snoopy, because that's the second game in a row Snoopy's fallen behind of Cloud Templar.
Indeed, that Oracle. That's why he didn't want to get involved. The fact that he's level 9, he got the Oracle. Snoopy was just like, we cannot fight this. We cannot get in there unless Froggen could flash and ulti the entire team, and even then he'd be able to just get controlled and manhandled. And look at the hit points on Shy now, 4-0 dominant.
And Froggen doesn't have his Zhonya's Hourglass yet, so if he did flash in, he'd get obliterated right away. there's a pretty good counter initiation from Azubu Frost as well. It's very hard to team fight through his Zyra ultimate. That's why support Zyra is so potent. And you can see he's actually picking up a fair amount of minions for himself, so you actually know that Woong is 45 behind Yellow Pete, but Mad Life has 48 minions to Krapo's 16, so really overall gold from those bottom lanes is pretty close. They're trying to get enough gold onto Mad Life just so that he has more of a presence in these later fights. The Saplings are trying to scout them out. They're maybe trying to force around here. They really need to flank around the back of CLG.EU. They're walking through a ward. Can they get something? They're trying to Shirelia's in.
They're going to go for the Impale. What an absolute clutch Black Shield there. Straight away. And Cloud Templar, no doubt, was about to Impale there. In fact, he may have been using it. Yes,
burn the cooldown.
Burn the cooldown. The Impale came in. Black Shield crescendo across. Brilliant play from Froggen to get that Black Shield down. Perfect timing.
Getting too excited here. Sometimes I'm not even stopping to take breaths during my sentences, but Mad Life clearing out that bottom ward. They can still poke around the Baron. They're going to wait for the ultimate cooldown on Cloud Templar before doing anything too sneaky. And actually, they have Vladimir and Sin split up in the side lanes here, and all 5 members of CLG.EU with the Dark Binding. This is going to be a very difficult tower to hold.
Very difficult. CLG going to push onto this one. They realize the situation. Shy's a long way off. They're going to have to back off. They've got to be careful they don't get caught out by any crazy twisted advance from Snoopy. Doesn't want to dive too deep, of course, like I said, but they do know the Impale is not available. Mad Life, of course, has his ultimate on their Dark Binds, trying to catch him out there, and they will back off here. Now the Shy is coming down. Shy is heading straight down south. There's Vladimir coming across. Vlad manages to get the ultimate across. Vlad Rapid Star just dogs away from that one. Snoopy's going to be taken low. There's the ultimate from Zyra. They do manage to catch across. Collateral damage obliterating Wicked there. And now they flash through. They're trying to catch on. There's a Dark Shield comes through.
Shy's trying to make it in. He still has his ult. Ghost coming up soon. They're going to chase this for a while.
There's the glue landing on towards Froggen. Froggen is going to get ultimate straight away. Tries to turn around, tries to do the damage. It does not matter. Crepo's been dropped. Cloud Templar's going to
go down bottom. Here comes Shy, flying in for 2 members.
Shy with the Ghost on, with the ultimate running. He's going to be able to catch on towards Yellow Pete. The slow from Snoopy isn't enough. If he gets the flip, Yellow Pete will drop, and he's just going to finish him off. Oh, the Arcane Shifts at the crucial moment. And Shy has to back away. Really well played by Yellow Pete.
But look at this. No one on Azubu Frost died there. They tried too hard to go in onto Rapid Star. They're going to go for this Baron. How can CLG.EU stop this? They're kind of low, but look at this. All 5 members, 27 minutes in, they have more than enough damage. The Zyra plans chunk it down, and that was CLG.EU actually trying to force something, and Azubu Frost doing a brilliant job at counter initiation. Shy wasn't even in on that fight, and they won it regardless. Now with the Baron, how does CLG.EU respond?
Yeah, and Rapid Star just caught them out with the Hemo play straight across the entire team. Oh, Wiggins, oh my word. He's hop skipping into jump. Has he got enough to get away with it? Cloud Templar has got, as Impale, it's just come up. Oh my word. He used it and flashed at the exact time. The Impale didn't get used out though. And he managed to dodge the damage.
Wicked just dashing away at the exact right time. If you lose vision on the guy when you try to impale him, it won't go off. If they would have had vision, it would have. So that was just almost a lucky use of vision there by Wicked. When he dashed, he did get out of vision, and it caused the Impale. You heard the sound start to play, but it never actually went off. That was so close to just being Wicked's life, but with this Baron buff, they can essentially tower dive. Shy is ignoring everyone on CLG.EU right now. Rapid Star showed he can get caught up by 3 people and still survive. They have Will of the Ancients for both of them. That even benefits Graves. Zeke's Herald on Zyra. The auras are coming out galore for them. They're looking really strong. They win this game. They're in the finals against TPA. This is huge.
This is enormous. Taipei Assassin's going to be sat at the side, sat in the player lounge, watching the match along with all the other teams. They're all down there watching it. Like I mentioned, the chance of TPA were coming out, showing that they didn't want Moscow 5 in that final. Big Asian presence, of course. There'll be an all-Asian final, Taipei versus Korea. If Azubu Frost were to make it, Cloud Templar's going to get caught with the Dark Binders from Froggen, but they don't want to engage this to that.
He's all by himself.
They're so scared of him. They used Shirelia's Reverie there. Could use the Impale in a moment. Froggen's used that Black Shield. That's going to run out. Manages to get the Dark Bindings on, but Shy is 2v1 in CLG.EU here. Wicked and Snoopy are all in trouble. Froggen's going to get knifed. Crescendo goes across. Does use a good Zonya's out.
Rapid Star.
Look at Shy. He's just in the middle at the turret. May go down finally. No, the turret's not got enough damage. Nothing can stop Shy. He's running through the entire team. Finally, he goes down. A little bit too aggressive, one might ask. It was a 2v1 exchange that CLG, oddly enough, came out on the back of. But is it too much? I mean, that's just Azubu Frost confidence, surely.
That was way too aggressive by Azubu Frost. They thought they'd be able to force that down, and they actually lost a lot in that fight. The shutdown to Shy does give CLG a window to potentially come back in this. That was a failed tower dive, and whenever you fail a tower dive like that, you put the brakes on your team's aggression. That also lost the Baron buff from 2 of their members. Rapid Star and Shy no longer have it. They will get the Dragon here.
Oh,
Yellow Pete might be able to solo Woong here.
Yeah, he's going to go straight for him. Woong's going to have to get away, but it's going to be a twisted advance, and Woong will get dropped. It's Yellow Pete that picks up the kill. Dragon was picked up just as well, but that is a really dangerous move from Azubu Frost. Have they just thrown a big advantage to CLG?
They may not have thrown their advantage, but they gave a lot of it back, because giving away the kills onto Woong, they lost that blue buff as well. They could get the Dragon, but they threw away Baron buff on 3 members. The Singed can only tower dive for so long before Yellow Pete has enough damage to take them down. Zani's Hourglass has been completed, and they're getting cut out again!
Twisted advance going straight on towards Rapid Star. Yellow Pete will take it down. The Hemo play comes down. Meanwhile, down the bottom, their Templars also getting caught out down the bottom. What are Azubu Frost doing here? The power bindings could go across. It does. It lands at max range. Wicked is going to get back on towards him. The rest of Azubu Frost are nowhere to be seen. And Cloud's Templar got out of position. Now he got Shy coming on towards the top there. He's got Mad Life with him. Shy, you are not unstoppable. Yellow Pete is going to put the damage down. They have the wave coming in. He's going to clear it out. But Azubu Frost are doing the damnedest to throw this game away.
That is just the pressure they could be breaking under it. CLG.EU, so much composure, they were able to repel that dive, and then just member after member after member of Azubu Frost got caught out. We're now past the 30-minute mark. This is where CLG seems to take over these games. D-Man, are we going to see another turtle comeback from CLG.EU? Because it would only be fitting that they come back from such a huge disadvantage, from giving up a Baron, the turned around tower dive. Azubu Frost has to reset themselves right now. They clearly were on a bit of a tilt there after the lost team fight. Missed communications, missed wards. They need to take control of this game again. They know when the Baron's going to be up. It's no longer a benefit for them. They've given up a lot of kills. Their team fight strength here is questionable. Looking at the items, they have Death Cap and Will of the Ancients on Rapid Star. Close to a Ranwood's Omen on Shy. They're still really strong. They still have these advantages. They just have to initiate the right fight. CLG got it turned around when they tried to go onto Azubu Frost. How can they recreate that situation? If they do that, they'll still be able to come out on top. But boy, do they have to be careful, because this game, razor close now.
Both AD carries are incredibly strong. 4-2-2 for Gun Wung. Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer. 5-1-2 for Yellow Pete. Trinity Force, Bloodthirster, Last Whisper. He's got enough that he can start to shred Shy. We saw it in that last fight there, just as he started to poke, which is why you can see the Warden's Mail now on Shy. He's realized he's going to have to start building a little bit more tanky. There's just a single mystic shot there on Mad Life, shredded his hit points down. They've got to start being a little bit more cautious about their play. The pressure, you know, the confidence that CLG would have just picked up off the back of catching out all those fights. I mean, we didn't get the player audio, but I can only imagine the shouting that was coming out from Froggen after they caught out those fights, especially with that 2v1 down the bottom. Azubu Frost, until that point, had them demoralized.
And the biggest thing about killing Shy in that tower dive is the experience it granted the whole team. When you take down someone who's more than 3 levels above you, you get almost an entire level. So that has just caught CLG.EU up enormously. You can see they're all getting close to level 18 now, and they have really gotten themselves back in the game. You don't see that level value in the gold, but it is so, so important. The Baron coming up in 51 seconds. There are a lot of wards out. Azubu is going to try to litter the jungle. Snoopy with his oracles will try to clear them out. They need to peel for this fight. Wicked's only a level behind Shino. He's close to 18. They're trying to initiate in mid.
They've managed to catch onto Woong there and immediately put some damage down on him. And now the Baron is up in 30 seconds. Shy starting to head south. CLG.EU realizing they're at that position. Can we initiate a fight? Do we have something in us? And Azubu Frost have to be a collective unit. Sure, were they to come into the next fight? They got away with it in a 4v5, but I'm not sure they're in the position to do that again. Snoopy is still a long way behind, 3 levels behind Cloud Templar. He cannot dive in. He can't twist it, advance, and initiate quite as crazily as he normally would. We are seeing the AP carries and the AD carries both at their similar levels. Just a slight difference between Rapid Star and Froggen. But like you mentioned, Wicked now just that 1 level behind Shy. He can't get bullied, and CLG.EU are poking around the Baron area. There is no wards down there. They're just trying to draw something out. There is a huge wave on the bottom that's going to push itself. CLG.EU, that dive binding, normally like a sniper shot, did not land.
So now it's going to be about Skarner trying to initiate the right team fights. We've seen in the past, Froggen's been great with his Black Shield, and he's actually fizzled a couple of pills. The fight CLG.EU got in trouble is when they tried to initiate onto Rapistar. They have to be careful with that. Here, it's going to be Shy just trying to zone out as many people as he can. In the fights where he distracts enough members of CLG.EU and splits them up, they're good. Really, it's going to be about when Froggen goes in to commit, can Shy unleash himself onto CLG for the distraction, because they have enough magic resist within their team that if Shy takes care of Yellow Pete and Wicked, the rest of the team will win the fight. It's really about poking back and forth here. They're pushing down the mid lane. Crepo is actually going back to base. Will Azubu Frost actually try to rush down a Baron? Or are they too worried if CLG's initiate?
Well, they pinged up towards Snoopy there. They thought they could maybe engage. Pull Snoopy out the way, take away that smite, flash engage, a flash impale, anything really to just drop him down. And Wound actually doing a lot of damage to that mid turret. Well, Crepo was gone, so no Crescendo to save them. Now he's back in there. They should be able to defend this one out there. They did also spot that the red buff was being picked up. They've got clever ward placement here at Azubu Frost. And you notice a lot of the times when they do back away, Wound will quite happily sneak in there and take away that buff. Now we've got Shy around the back. Shy is thinking of engaging for this one. He's just behind the turret.
They could take out this turret and then start a fight. They're going. The turret's not dead, but here it comes.
They've impaled on towards Yellow Pete. Yellow Pete's going to get dropped down very quickly. This is Azubu Frost can turn this fight incredibly strong. That's going to be a crescendo on the turret. The turret's trying to do as much damage, but Shy is just laying his poisonous waste across the entire CLG. They're going to have to evacuate this one. You can see Snoopy. He's going to get dropped. The Oracle's going to get burned out there. Does manage to escape. No, Rapid Star takes him down as well. Sniped off. Wicked's going to get dropped. Azubu Frost turned in this fight massively in their advantage. Guardian Angel's going to drop back up, but there's nothing you can do about it. But the dive binding's on Shy, just the person they wanted to land it on. Zonya's hourglass spot by Froggen. Is he going to be able to come out of this one alive? No, he's not. Azubu Frost take him down as well. 14-9 in kills. They're going to pick up the inhibitor turret. Azubu Frost just turned that fight perfectly.
Everyone's still alive on them, and 4 kills. That was brilliant initiation. They got the Skarner pull, and CLG got sucked into the Zyralt, and Shy pulled off the successful flank behind them there. They're going to try to just rush down this Baron. They see there's fairly long death timers for everyone on CLG, and they have enough damage. Even though they couldn't teamfight here, they don't have to worry about it. This will be their second Baron. That is the inhibitor. They regroup from their last disaster push, and this could be a Baron. The True Shot Barrage is going to try to come through, taking them low, but I think they're still going to get that Baron. Wicked now coming in as well. They're going to peel this afterwards.
Yeah, Wicked comes in, and gets a brilliant route, and now he's going to get dropped. He might be able to get Mad Life, but really that's nothing. And Shy just walks away and picks up the kill. I cannot believe that. Wicked throwing himself at the deaths. And wow, what a turnaround. I talked about how CLG managed to drag themselves back into it, but Azubu Frost have just performed perfect replay. Let's check it out.
See the replay of this last battle, and this is just crazy. They get the Skarner impale onto Yellow Pete, and this is the big thing. The only person who can take down Shy is Yellow Pete. Once he drops, look at CLG just sit there doing damage, and Azubu Frost doesn't care. Shy, everyone is trying to run away, and he is just behind them. The tower doesn't matter. The Ranwood's Omen is so much. Flashing in, look at Rapistar just finishing them out, and look at Wound freely running around the backline, taking out everyone. And this is just the long back and forth. They're just tanking turret shots left and right. That continues on. They get the Baron, and it's the flank that they pulled off there. Stop CLG's disengage and created with Skarner. That's why they picked Skarner instead of Maokai, because they can get things like kill Yellow Pete. Interestingly enough, Quicksilver Sash, CLG's not going to let that happen again.
They are not going to let that happen again. And I think he just arcane shifted when he caught him with the Impale. Is that possible?
It is possible. Like we saw earlier, if you have vision when the Impale tracks, it will always pull him to it. It's only if you lose vision will it fizzle. And they didn't get the Black Shield on that either. It was just even more death for Yellow Pete. The timing coming down to the fractions of a second. Crebo in that interview right after the WE game said these are the two maybe best team fighting teams in the world, and it's all going to come down to those fraction of a second moves. They're just tanking up this next turret, trying to push the lane. CLG really having to turtle their lives on the line here. Lose this game, they're out. We'd have an Azubu Frost versus TPA final. So much on the line 40 minutes into this game.
CLG.EU. They said in the back room, if they were going to lose, they'd quite happily let Taipei Assassins win it. It's pretty safe to know who they're going to be cheering on for Azubu Frost to make it to this final, but honestly, Azubu Frost have really proved their worth here. CLG.EU picking up the first game, incredibly strong. They're going to engage. They're just going to
tower
tank
down.
them. Absolutely tanking it through, and Woong, of course, with the Guardian Angel, he is pretty safe to just keep on hitting that turret. The Dark Pine is coming across, not quite landing at full range, and Shai's just going to walk on in there. He could pick any old target he wants. He is not worried, and that's going to be the turret going down. There we go. There's going to Crescendo going across. Shai is going to get dropped down. No! He's just going to troll and run away. Finally goes down. Frog and Ultimate. He's going to manage to get Sonya's Hourglass, but Rapid Star is in there. Woong is in there, destroying the opposition. Greppo's going to dunk down. They have super minions coming up the mid lane. This could well be the end.
That's an ace.
That's a triple goal. That's the ace. That is the game. Azubu Frost are in the finals against Taipei Assassins. They have done it. They've managed to make it in there, coming back from a 2-1 just like Taipei Assassins did against Moscow 5. And that is CLG and the whole of Europe out of the tournament in the semi-finals. Fantastic, perfectly executed moves by Azubu Frost.
They had the one slip up where they almost threw the game, and you can see the relief on them. That's the second time they've had a set against CLG.EU where they've been one game from elimination and then swept it from there on out. So amazing. This was one of the most exciting games I've ever cast. I was losing it during that game, and they just have the relief. Woong, so excited. Congratulations to Azubu Frost. That was honestly very impressive.
Very impressive, and yet again, we're talking about the top lanes. Shai, absolutely at his best throughout this entire tournament. That's twice we've seen him play Singe. That's twice we've seen him 2v1 in teams without issue. And, you know, Cloud Templar versus Snoopy in the middle, constantly 3 levels ahead. Shai, constantly 3 levels ahead. Big advantages forged out by these players.
And Shai versus Stanley in the finals, I can't wait for that because they're the two highest pressure top laners, and they're just writing this tournament in a lot of ways. We've seen some games where it's been the mids, a couple 80 carries, but when we really see these guys shine, it is the top laners. And that finals, I mean, the stage has been set. We've had 2 best of 3s. Like, the top 4 teams in the world have proven that they're very close. And we have a replay of that final push. This is just so impressive by Azubu Frost. Let's take a look. And here, I thought maybe they'd get in trouble because they started the fight before the turret was down, but Woong did a good job finishing it off. And from here, it's Shai. Even though he dropped so much distraction, it allows Woong to clean up the house because he has his Guardian Angel. No one could touch him. Yellow Pete spent so long killing Shai, and they really didn't have an analog for him on the other side, that Woong could just run through and clean up the entire team. The triple kill came to Vlad, but that was just because of all the AoE going out. And that was an impressive team fight for them. Really, the first team to lock down CLG in a team fight, it's the first team to take them out of the tournament.
And they did it twice. Perfectly executed. We got the final brackets, of course. You all know what they are. You've been watching all night. You guys have been joining us and enjoying this final day, the day that was extended, as some to say. Azubu Frost there, Taipei Assassins. Well, absolutely fantastic matches. 2-1, both of those games. And really, we have an all-Asian finals. Azubu Frost from Korea, Taipei Assassins, of course. Wow, what an amazing match that is going to be. I mean, both these teams have performed brilliantly. Taipei Assassins were brutal in their execution against Najin Sword. And Moscow 5 just got swept aside. The #1 seed of the tournament. It's safe to say that.
It is.
Were absolutely brutalized in those last 2 games.
And no one expected TPA coming into this tournament. People did expect Azubu Frost coming into this tournament, and it's going to be a clash. We've seen CLG.EU practice up against TPA, so they've taken out one practice partner. Can they take out the next? Really, they've rolled through the top seeds in this tournament. I mean, we saw out of the group stage, Najin Sword, TPA 2-0'd them. Moscow 5, everyone coming into this tournament said, we want to play Moscow 5. Even Taipei Assassin said Moscow 5 was the team they respect the most. They took him out. Now it's on to Azubu Frost.
And you saw Goon Woong celebrate when that draw was made on the stage. Goon Woong was like, yes, I didn't get Moscow 5. They're on the other bracket. We are split away from them. They wanted to avoid them. Now they get to face the team that knocked them out. How will they handle it? Ladies and gentlemen, that is all going to be coming up on October 13th. What a final. We are here in the Galen Center. You can see it behind us. It is almost prepped and ready. There's still a lot of work to be done, ladies and gentlemen. There is brilliant sportsmanship. Crepo there saying, Cloud Templar, you are the man. And honestly, Cloud Templar, yeah, he really is
He
fantastic.
controlled those games. Cloud Templar, the strategy caller, the tactician for them, they had big adjustments to do after that first game. Really, that looked hopeless in a lot of ways. 1-0 down. There was nothing they could do to CLG.EU. We'd seen so much of it. We were thinking, is anyone going to be able to fight CLG? Can they ever start a fight? Yeah, they can. They figured out a way. They moved around. CLG.EU, good sports. They know how strong they are. They know the future in League of Legends. They finished 2-1, third place. They're still walking away with $150,000. That's a lot of change. That's the biggest prize pool they've ever walked away with, so they can still walk away with this happy. They know how well they've done. They can just watch the finals.
They can watch the finals, and of course, wow, what a final we're going to have. The thrilling conclusion to the World Championships will be decided during the World Finals right here at the USC Galen Center this Saturday in just a few days' time. On October 13th, of course, there's going to be many, many thousands of you joining us here in the center. There's going to be many, many millions of you, I'm hoping, for the finals online. Just like the playoffs, we will be broadcasting around the world in free HD in 13 different languages. So, you know, if you're unsure what you're watching, you don't want to listen to us, guys. There's many people out there you can tune in at. It will be at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time for a phenomenal pre-game show we got set up for you guys, featuring in-depth analysis and unique content made by your favorite League of Legends community superstars. I am D-Man, and of course, Rivington Freak and Jat and the entire crew. Thank you very much for watching tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We know it's been hard. We know it's been an extended series, but we will see you for the World Finals on October 13th.